What's up, everyone? I'm Lumberjack Nick, and today we're going to talk about dystopian future movies and the subgenre of cyberpunk. In order to take a look at dystopian future movies, we have to think about the subgenre of cyberpunk, and I feel like there is a differentiation between just dystopian future in general and cyberpunk. So we'll start with cyberpunk. The first movie that really defined the cyberpunk genre was Blade Runner. And Blade Runner was based off of a novel called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. But however, to find the start of the cyberpunk genre, we have to look back even further to a French comic book artist, Jean Gard, who goes by the pen name of Mobius, who wrote the comic Metal Hurlant. This comic was actually used as the concept art for Blade Runner. There are a few other movies that are example of the subgenre of cyberpunk. You have movies like TRON, RoboCop, and then you have a more recent movie, Ghost in the Shell, which was a remake of an older film. And then to break it down into just dystopian future, you have movies that kind of fit in the middle. Movies like The Fifth Element, which is still has many of the aspects of just straight cyberpunk. You have large cities, you have a surveilled population, you have power imbalances. So The Fifth Element is sort of more on the alien spectrum. But then you have movies like Ready Player One. Just here's something that could happen in the future that would set humanity back. And then you can look at dystopian future movies. So movies like that I would consider The Matrix, Snowpiercer, District 9, and even Terminator. There are also a lot of modern TV shows and video games that fit into the dystopian future and even the subgenre of cyberpunk. So as far as TV shows go, one of the main TV shows recently that's come out that fits right into the cyberpunk genre is Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon fits every aspect of a cyberpunk show. You have modified humans, you have future vehicles, you have huge power imbalances and class struggles. And then there are some TV shows that still fit under the subgenre of dystopian future, which would be CONTINUUM, The 100, and there are countless numbers that have come out in the last few years. If you take a look at video games, you can see video games like Fallout and Cyberpunk 2077, which Cyberpunk 2077 is a new game that just came out by a Polish video game studio, CD Projekt Red. It is cyberpunk to a T. Unfortunately, it has some mixed reviews, and I'm actually playing the game right now and I'm enjoying it, but there definitely are some issues with it. All right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the common themes these movies share, and then we can break down some of the common color grading and lighting choices that are used. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but some of the most common themes that I see and that personally stand out to me in dystopian future in the subgenre of cyberpunk is the use of hero characters, modified humans, so cybernetic implants and other modifications, futuristic vehicles, huge power imbalances between the upper and lower class, population overgrowth to the point where populations are forced into huge skyscrapers in large cities. There are lots of holograms, neon advertisement signs everywhere. Everything is owned by corporations. There are no regulations, and they just run the world. You have heavy surveillance of the population, so police drones, cameras everywhere, spying. Something that seems really strange to me is a lot of cyberpunk and even dystopian future just use normal guns. So I guess in the future, laser weapons aren't a part of dystopian future. Anyways, there's always strong underground crime involving drugs, weapons, and other nefarious activities, even the sale of cybernetic enhancements. So let's take a look at some of the common techniques and color grading elements that are used in dystopian future movies in the subgenre of cyberpunk. So one of the first things I want to look at is color grades. So, for example, we have Blade Runner, which uses a very yellow and orange color shift. You can see in almost all of the scenes, Blade Runner, if you look, has some yellows in the highlights or some oranges, or everything is pushed really warm. Blade Runner 2049 kind of keeps true to the original, but it does have more vibrant colors. And then movies like The Fifth Element has slightly muted colors, but still with a yellow-orange warm shift. And then another technique that's used commonly that's very close to this is single colors used that are very pronounced. So if you take a look at the Matrix, you can see that almost everything has a very green shift. And this was actually even more pronounced in some of the later movies. If you take a look at TRON, you can see that when you're in the real world, everything has a yellow shift. And then inside the cyber world, you have a desaturated look with a teal shift. See a theme here? Another common technique that's used is desaturation and bleach bypass. So desaturation a lot of times is used to give a sense of grunginess or gloominess to a shot. And bleach bypass is an old school film technique where you bypass the bleaching process of the film to get a really washed out look. Another thing that's used commonly with color is neon colors for lights and cityscapes. This is actually most apparent in Blade Runner, but this follows in with the TV shows like Altered Carbon and is a very strong theme in the video game Cyberpunk 2077. So another technique that's used commonly is dark scenes with minimal lighting. SNOWPIERCER is a great example of this. Almost every shot is dark or darker than you would normally shoot any other type of movie, except when there's the time when the train hits the sun and when the lower class is going to take over the upper class and they get into the very brightly lit and vibrant upper class area. So I hope this look was interesting, and I hope that you learned something about dystopian future movies and the cyberpunk subgenre. Next week, or very soon whenever the weather's a little bit better, I'm going to try and create my very own cinematic sequence that uses a lot of these color techniques and pulls themes from dystopian future and cyberpunk. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video if you found it interesting, and I'll see you later. Bye.